tiebreaker in the third set, and then Jessica Pegula won. But it was an amazing match. So interesting things have been happening. But my biggest joy was yesterday. Cameroon lost again.
Wow.
My biggest joy. It's like I'm always happy when Samuel Little feels and Cameroon just lose.
Why?
Makes
Your
me,
smile is so big.
ay, what a beautiful day it is. As I am like this, my day is made.
Poor
Because I don't, you can't understand. Samuel Little feels the wickedness he did to me in the early 2000s. The wicked. I used to beat Nigeria with disrespect, you know? So I'm so happy that he's suffering now. I like him as a person, but as a, you will suffer. So I was very happy. But we'll talk about that story and all other stories. And so before we go into all the stories, Zibby, could you tell us how we can be part of the locker room and welcome everybody officially?
Yes, indeed. Welcome. Come on, come all. All right. You can, of course, send us messages via WhatsApp. The number is 0809 4440981. You can tweet at smooth981. The hashtag is lockerroom981. And catch the live stream up on YouTube. It's on our channel. Just click subscribe, smooth981, and you can catch the live stream and see Tega's very wicked smile as she rejoices over Cameroon's failure. Don't you know there are cousins?
Which cousins? In
There are
football,
cousins.
they are rivals. They should lose every time, every day of the week, twice on Sunday, in the World Cup, in AFCON, they should just be losing. Yes.
Wow. All right, let's go through the stories. No Olympics for Nigeria as Eagles fall 2-0 to Guinea. AFCON qualifier, he feels more pressure. Pesero defends Osimhen. Anthony Joshua says he's starting fresh by training in Texas. No panic for Spain's De La Fuente after shock loss to Scotland. Shaluli shines as Namibia tamed the indomitable lions. You wrote this headline in a very wicked way, Tega. Renard set for France woman's job after Saudi Arabia resignation. Dominant De Bruyne stares Belgium past Germany. Injured forward Beth Mead unlikely to make World Cup, says Serena Wiegman.
Yes. So, really huge news there. Germany still with their struggles, but the big one is Beth Mead may miss the World Cup. She tore her ACL. I
Mm.
mean, usually it takes about a year or so to, yeah.
Wow.
If you are young and very fit, maybe 8 months, 9 months, but pretty much a year.
Wow.
So, and the World Cup is in July. Not sure
Mm.
she'll be able to come back,
That'd be a
and
miracle.
even if she comes back, what form she'd be in immediately after. So, yeah, sad one. But hey, let's talk about it.
All right, so Nigeria has failed to qualify for the 2023 Under 23 AFCON after losing 2-0 to Guinea on Tuesday.
All I can say is football legacy.
Mm.
Um. So yes, the under 23 coach. I saw, at least I saw um, the first leg of this one. It was in Abuja last
Mm.
week. They didn't win. It was a goalless draw. All the chances they created, all we're just doing at this thing was the ball just never hit the back of the net. So a goalless draw here. And then they went to play the second leg of in Morocco. Um, Guinea scored 2 goals in 2 minutes. Yeah,
Wow.
they scored the first goal, and just as the Eaglets were trying to recover, they considered the second. As soon as they
Mm.
just considered the second, as you know, the media officer was sending us updates
Updates,
because we
yeah.
didn't have where to sit. As soon as we just saw the second goal, somebody said in the group, "It's over." I said, but there's still time because it was like the 76th minute or
Mm.
77th minute. Yeah, but it was over.
Wow.
So yes, no Olympics for the men's team again because we missed out on the last Olympics. So we've missed out on this Olympics. And I know a lot of people are complaining, talking about how Salusi Yusuf shouldn't be coach. And when they see Asia's one going to be overturned so that he can come back and take his team back to the Olympics. Some other people are picking on Amaju Pinnick saying that this is the legacy he left behind. I'm just saying, that if you're contesting for, you know, NFF president, the
Mm.
first thing you have a manifesto, don't you? Yeah, so you come and say these are the 10 things I'm going to do. And obviously you would have looked at the football country to say the reason why I'm contesting for this thing is because my predecessor has done A, B, C, D, E, and I need to overturn it and put FGHIJ. You know, that kind of thing. You have those 10-point agenda. He did. So you can't, I can't really keep blaming Amaju Pinnick that left in September. I understand that, you know, sometimes when you take some action, it takes months for the consequences to be over. But really, this guy came in. I'm hearing they've extended Jose Pesero's contract by another 24 months. I don't know how true that is. No confirmation yet, but yes. So at the end of the day, you came in and you're continuing status quo for Majupinic. Then it's not his legacy, it's your own now. You started building your own. Let's just take it from where it is. So a tough one, a tough struggle, but yes, no Nigerian football at the Olympics.
Wow.
Which is really sad.
Very sad.
Remember when we won gold medal?
Oh, the
And
good
we were all
days of
dancing in the early
96.
hours of the, sorry, it was not early hours of, yeah, it was early hours of the morning. But here we are now, alas. They'll be in Paris without a football team.
All right, Super Eagles head coach Jose Peseiro has leaped to the defense of Victor Osimhen after the Napoli forward failed to register a goal in a two-legged encounter against Guinea-Bissau. Victor is the best striker in Europe, but it happens not to score a goal. Peseiro said this during his interaction with the media after the game, and he said he fights for the team, but he feels more pressure in the national team than in Napoli. That is not good.
Okay, so when he said this, I opened my mouth wide. Like, is pressure not part of the game? Is pressure not what they play against? Because sometimes you're not really playing against the opponent, you're fighting your own demons. You know, that you come with a reputation. Like from the minute, you know, they go out for warm-up, even the opponents are shouting Osimhen. Even the opponents. I kid you not. In Guinea, they rushed this guy like hot agege bread.
Aww.
That's how they, as soon as the match was over, they got on the pitch. It was Victor Osimhen's check they wanted to touch. It was the one that they take pictures. Those were the, I'm not talking of the Nigerians. So he, from the airport, he knew that he was the guy they were calling. When they came out to train, everybody was saying, no, Osimhen, no, Osimhen. There are other players on the pitch, looking for small applause. Nobody got a name calling like he did. So I'm sure he expected that, you know, there's a lot of weight on the shoulder. But I also know that the way he plays again, so when he gets on the pitch, you know, the Super Eagles sometimes they tend to, they don't pass the ball because they're trying to build up play. Sometimes they pass the ball so they're not the ones that lost it.
No way, Tega.
That's how it looks to me.
Okay.
It looks like they're getting rid of the ball, so they'll say they're collecting the command. Because I don't understand what football they play, what brand. And so sometimes he's a go-to person that, you know, he's a pivot they give the ball to. So and sometimes when you give the ball to somebody that everybody expects to score, you can see the defense, you know, quickly onto him. So maybe that's part of it. But I think when you say that he did not score because there's more pressure on him, I'm not. It's baffling for, you know, a professional footballer should know. You know, I've not heard it before where, you know, Lionel Messi says there's more pressure on me in Argentina. No, that's why they are building statue for you, naming places after you, calling you the greatest footballer of all time. That's the what you play against. That's the pressure you play against. It's not like PSG is playing against Real Madrid and, you know, Lionel Messi thinks he's playing against Benzema. No, he's playing against the expectations of the millions of people that are watching. So I'm again, it's tricky. I don't know how Victor Osimhen will feel about this. I'm not sure that. Yeah, what you're saying is that the reason he's not performing is because he's crumbling under the pressure.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
That's basically what you're saying. You're still putting him under more pressure.
That is true.
So you're saying that, oh, I'm going to find a way to relieve it through the play. It's not. You can't. How do you relieve people's expectation through tactics?
No.
He just has to score at the end of the day. People came there to see Victor Osimhen score the same way he scores in Napoli. God deliver the goals. End of discussion. Don't say you can't score because there's pressure on everybody. When
especially we the fans, there's too much pressure on us.
Too much pressure on us. When France is playing, there's pressure on Mbappe. He still scored. You know, when Ronaldo is playing, there's pressure on Ronaldo. He still scores. When Osimhen is playing, there's pressure on you. You better score.
I agree. Can we read some messages?
Let's read some messages. In fact, I should have opened the phone lines. What do you think? In fact, let's open the phone lines for this conversation. What do you think about this thing he just said? Pesero saying that Victor Osimhen did not score in the last two games because there was pressure. What
Under
are your
pressure.
thoughts? The number to
Osimhen
call, the
under
numbers to
pressure.
call are
0144899981. And yeah, give us a ring.
give us a ring. So he says there's pressure. That's why Victor Osimhen didn't score. What are your thoughts? Call us on those numbers. But before then, let's take some messages. One from Shegun says,
Under 23 Eagles out again. I'm not surprised because we can still bank on the likes of Salihu, Ladan Bosso, and Pesero. Okay.
All right, let's take this call quickly. Hello, good morning. Yeah, what's your name and your location? Yomi, what do you think about this thing he said?
I feel like it's a two-way thing.
Mm-hmm.
The way Messi is seen in his team would easily make him score because most of the players would pass the ball to him. If you see, in the last two matches of the season, the guy on the right side, the Villarreal guy, what's his name?
Chukwueze.
Was very soft. There's a difference between playing with somebody you admire, who you don't see as your mate, and somebody who and playing with somebody who inspires you. Messi inspires him because of his difference and what he has done. His teammates have to score. That's what happens with Ronaldo too. He inspires him, he scores. Most of the ultimate playmates have seen him as competition. And that is the thing. Instead of them to support him based on where he is now, they are the ones who want to take the blame. He's taller guy, the taller striker.
Onuachu
was kept the ball and did it the way the way the striker in Man U does now. He's bigger. But he's supposed to be better, but he helped Rashford because he's bigger. He will check the ball that the way Abramovich does. I don't think he's slotting the goal. But other than them work like that, we saw that team even having more technical know-how than the Nigerian team better player. So my own reason is it's two ways. The pressure could mean the fact that ultimate teammate did not supply, and we saw it ourselves.
Okay.
In his team, but he did not get that supply yet. Thank you.
All right, so let's take a very quick break. And when we come back from that break, we'll be taking more of your phone calls. What your thoughts are on the pressure being too much? That's why Victor Osimhen did not score 2 goals. That did not score in 2 games. That's what his coach says. We will take this quick break. When we come back, we'll be taking your calls and your messages.
Is Smooth 98.1.
It's true. They also see it as competition. Like they didn't.
I never thought about that, but as the guy said it, I'm like,
because but I also say this because in France they still give it. They're like, Ugabe, you like to run a bit, take ball and run, and they're about the same age. You know, they're like.
But Osimhen is younger. Mbappe is 24 now. Osimhen not 22.
Mbappe is younger than Osimhen.
Are you serious? Oh wow!
I'm just saying, Mbappe with his teammates,
okay, around the same age,
about the same age.
Okay.
I mean, there's some people that are older,
yeah,
but about the same age. So they pass the ball to him.
Selfish football.
But I don't think it's that Chukwueze. I think it's that Chukwueze. So there are 2 types of wingers. There are the wingers that they play the same flanks, but there are wingers that they like to come to the center. Okay. So you've seen it. It's not a Nigerian thing. You've seen it with your World Cup. That's why Fabio Capello did not want to take him to the World Cup. So they get the ball, they come inside. You see it with Yao Felix. He used to come from the wings into the inside. There are wingers that are like that. Now there are other wingers that collect the ball and go wide and then cross. So Riyad Mahrez is also one of those wingers that like to collect the ball and come inside.
Okay.
So those ones that collect the ball, go wide and cross. You see it with Jack Grealish. You know, he will go wide, he will cross the ball for his team. So there are 2 kinds of wingers that are like that. Chukwueze is an inverted winger. He likes to come in, collect the ball, run at defenders, and also try to score. And so if he's playing with a guy like Victor Osimhen that needs supply, that needs crosses, it's always going to be a struggle because this winger too wants to
isn't that what the coach should?
Exactly. It's something the coach should recognize. So which is why I'm saying that maybe Chukwueze has Petero's news
to blackmail him
because I don't understand what's happening.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I'll be back. Let's come back.
You're in the locker room on Smooth 98.1. Tega and Zibby here. And yes, we're streaming live on YouTube. You can catch the live stream. It's up on our YouTube channel, Smooth 981.
All right. And so we're still having that conversation. Jose Perestero saying that Victor
Osimhen?
Osimhen is under pressure. That's why he didn't score in the last two games. So the numbers to call, we're still taking your phone calls. The numbers to call are
01448991.
And while we wait on those calls, let's take some messages. Victor Shun said,
what kind of service from the attacking midfield did Osimhen get? Like Tega said, Super Eagles players wanted to quickly pass the ball away rather than make an intelligent pass behind the opponent.
All right, let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Yeah, what's your name and your location, please? Okay, Chike from Surulere, go ahead. What are your thoughts?
Well, I just want to say quickly that when Osimhen was coming for this match, what does he have in mind? Does he think he's coming for a friendly match or what? It is not an excuse to say you are playing under pressure. Every football competition, whether the preliminary stages, whether the main competition, you are always under pressure and you have to deliver. That is why he is Osimhen.
Mm-hmm.
I think the coach was just saying that not to further put him under pressure and not to put him in a bad mood, and just to demonstrate that he has his back and he still has confidence in him. But I don't think to me it's a flimsy excuse. Like maybe the weather affected him or the pitch affected him. Maybe that would still be a bit justifiable. But saying that he's playing under pressure, I don't understand. Pressure can be more than the one he faces in Italy.
Napoli, yeah.
That's my thought, really. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I like the way Chike said the coach looked like he sounded like he was trying to relieve the pressure, but he was applying pressure. All right, let's take this phone call. Hello, good morning. Yes, please, your name and your location. All right, Richard from Ikoyi, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I feel I don't think Osimhen played bad. I think he was all over the pitch, left, right, center. I don't feel that the attacking guys let him down in terms of passes through the middle. We could also see that Chukwueze, I don't know, when he looks forward, forward, he always uses his left leg, comes back and crosses it, and he plays on the right wing. I don't know why the coach is playing him on the right wing. He should be playing on the left wing. I feel Osimhen is actually like the future captain of that team. He played very well. You see that sometimes when the players are not really doing well, trying to encourage them to always keep moving the ball and keep going with the team. Well, I don't feel that the coach actually does give excuses, but to me, it's Osimhen playing well. So that's the concern I think.
All right, thank you for that. Let's take one more call. Hello, good morning. Yes, your name and your location, please. All right.
I just wanted to quickly chip in on the playing under pressure argument. Now, are you guys not under pressure? But every morning you wake up early to come to work, isn't that?
Yes.
Right, so we should not accept those kind of excuses. It's a performance, driven industry. When he plays for Napoli, does he also give this kind of excuse? So I don't think we should accept that. And the coach also, I don't know what the coach is doing. Generally, I think over the past years, we can say that the fortunes of the Super Eagles, been going down. So something needs to happen. Something has to be done. Probably because when the players come to play for the Super Eagles, they are conscious of the clubs where they earn so much money. They don't want to be injured and all that. They don't give up their best. But it's not like that when you look at the other players that play for other countries. So I think the passion has gone down. It wasn't like that in the days of your cultures, their Mokatis and all that. But how many people don't even watch the Super Eagles matches anymore? I mean, I remember back in the day, anytime the Super Eagles or the Green Eagles, what they were called back in the day, anytime they will have a football match, I mean, everybody's excited. You want to be in front of your TVs, TV set before the match. But, these days, nothing happens. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All right, that's the much phone calls we can take for now. Let's try to take another story. Let's talk about AJ. Let's talk about Scotland. AJ will be fighting this weekend, so we'll be talking more about that on Friday, fighting on Saturday. And I heard he has bragged that if he loses, he will retire.
Oh, okay. AJ, why?
Do you have another skill? Have you gone to school to do MBA? I don't know what you are going to do without fighting. Just fight and win, sha. But let's talk about what happened. We're crying about Victor Osimhen not performing. What did the Spanish team do yesterday?
Well, Spain's coach Luis de la Fuente was left to rue two defensive errors that cost his side on Tuesday a shock 2-0 loss to Scotland in their Euro 2024 qualifier at Hampden Park. He refused to blame his players for the defeat, though.
Yeah, you should blame me. I was the one that slipped twice. The other one, I was the first one that slipped, that gave the ball away. And then I don't know what has been happening to Carvajal. I've seen it so many times with Real Madrid that he's out of form. But the way Kylian just breezed past him. And Tini sits on the bench a lot, if you remember, for Arsenal. The way he went past him like he was invisible. It was shocking to see, but yeah, it was two. You could say there were two defensive errors that gave the goals, but the Spanish team were outfought, out-muscled, especially, and they should have expected some physicality because that's how the Scottish play. They put their back into it. They're dogged, they're hardworking, and they get the job done. And there was no frills or thrills about it. They could have scored other goals. Unfortunately, they're not as clinical. But the Spanish team, what they did yesterday, they created a few chances here and there. They had opportunities to at least get one or two back in the game. They didn't take those chances, and I would blame them. I would also blame the coach for some of the play that happened. But ultimately, Scotland knew the assignment. They were playing at home. They were playing the toughest team in their group based on the resume. And they put their head down and took the team out. So fantastic one for Spain, for Scotland, for Spain. Then we go back to the drawing board. We all go have drawing board. And how to just say, when a new regime comes in, old regime goes out. What happened to Unai Simon that all of a sudden is Kepa Arrizabalaga that is in goal? I just don't get it. You know, one new manager comes in and he throws away the baby, the bath water, and the basin too. So just for good measure. So really tough one. Something we need to consider and discuss maybe on another day.
All right, now Namibia moved top of Group C in their 2023 AFCON qualifier game, claiming a famous 2-1 win over a rather star-studded Cameroon outfit at the Dobsonville Stadium on Tuesday.
Yes, that team is star-studded. From the NFF president, from the Cameroon Federation president to the coach to the players. Namibia was like,
Wow. Who would have
yes,
thought?
now. But they don't have anything. He that is down needs fear no fall. They have no reputation to protect. If they lose against Cameroon, it will be normal. That's just an ordinary day. They came on the pitch, took the lead, got the second goal, and then Abubakar scored a consolation goal. It always looked like Cameroon was going to get back into the game at every point in time, but they just. There's something missing there, and I don't think it's the hunger of the players because you see them put together some passes, and I think it comes down to the tactics of the players, not the technique, and that's where Rigo Besson comes in, and he's not. Truth of the matter is, ultimately, he's not doing a great job. I just want to be a fly on the wall to hear the conversation that he has with Samuel Eto'o Fields after this, because what this means is that Namibia has qualified for the tournament.
Well, yay for Namibia.
Yay for Namibia. Happy for you. You're our best friend. I can't get over you. You amaze me. And I'm glad you did this to Cameroon. So it's something that they need to look at. But Samuel Eto'o feels we need to, fire his friend if he really wants to get the best out of the team. And sometimes footballers know these things. They're just looking at the coach like, you don't know what you're doing. And so even if they may know how to do better, regardless of what the coach is telling them, they will not do better. And those Cameroon players, first of all, the goalkeeper has already fought with coach and told him, okay, you don't know your work. And he has now left the team. Another person will soon follow. And remember that's how the French players did. They fired the French coach. And now Hervé Renard may be going back home to France to take over the women's team. So sometimes the footballers will know that you don't know your job, and they'll just not play to make it even harder for you. So I think Samuel Eto'o Fields may have to fire his coach.
But I mean, Song is like a bit of a legend. That would be very bad for Eto'o to do that.
Good morning and God bless. There's no result. You have to legend and results. So if you're a legendary footballer, doesn't mean you're going to be a legendary coach. It happens all the time.
It wouldn't look good for Eto'o.
And they've sacked Frank Lampard twice. Is he not a legend? I beg.
We're African.
We will
We
see.
take things way too serious.
All right. So with I'd already touched on it, Renard. And now I understand that money is really not everything, because I understand how much Saudi Arabia must have given him to make him stay. But this guy was like, no, my darling, my country needs me for this World Cup. So I'm going back to my country to take over the women's team. So the big thing here, number one, is he left Saudi Arabia money. That's a lot of baby food. And then he now left a men's team to go and based on all we are hearing, to go and take over a women's team. That's another big deal. You know, leaving men's football to go and work with women's football. But I think he really wants to just help his country, you know, get back into France somehow. So good one for him and good one for the team. I hear as soon as they fired, everybody was like, yeah, so we are coming back to play the World Cup. After they had all said we are not going to the World Cup. So it'll be interesting to see how this pans out. And Javi Renard is such a fantastic coach. So I think even if people are looking at Germany and USA and Sweden and maybe Japan to do much at this Women's World Cup, we may have to start looking at the French team now. So interesting one day. So let's take, since we have run out of time, let's take all the messages that we haven't read, starting with this one from
Shegun. Shegun says, Osime under pressure. Guy, you were born in Niger. It's natural for us. Say something else.
It wasn't him that said he was his coach, but we get. Emeka Onelum says,
even if the under-23 qualified for the AFCON, we would still need to get to the semi-final to have a chance of playing in the Olympics, which I doubt. As for Osime, you could clearly see all was not well in the Eagles camp. I saw him have an argument with Paul Onuachu after a missed chance. What I saw Super Eagles play that day, I was tempted on calling the recall of Odion Igalo and Yakuba Ibeni. Later, we'll be crying Bukayo Saka or Adeyemi refused playing for us. Who would play for us like this?
Wow. AJK from Ogba says, it is clear that we are going to have a proper team when the Super Eagles is concerned. We performed so poorly, so this under pressure talk is baffling, but not surprising. Pesero has seen that we are a nation of excuses, so he has plugged into that move.
Wow.
I don't know what is happening. Chinwe Nancy says,
good morning. First it was Guinea-Bissau, now it's Equatorial Guinea. May God deliver us from these Guineans.
and Taya says, Tega being a fly on the wall is room is not enough. You have to hear French. I have to be a French fly now so that I will know what they are saying. But he also says, Pesero leaping in defense but not planning how to execute a game plan. It's like everyone wanted to score. With the array of talent, we could only score one goal and it was a penalty. We needed aid. No wonder the opposition coach was mocking us. Yeah, so somebody was saying that he even came with some members of the team from Guinea, and they said, yeah, Nigeria has a great number of good players, but we're going to win in Abuja, and they won. And the person said it with confidence.
Speak it into existence.
The person was not, no, the person was not talking in faith. The person said it with confidence. We will beat them, like on our own power. We don't need this one. We don't need any divine intervention. And they did. All right. That's all we can take on the show. On Friday, we'll be talking more about, I think we'll be back to club football. So keep your banter ready, iron it, sharpen it, shake it so that it'll be plenty, and come with your bucket full of banter. For now, let's leave the studio for Zibby.
That's it for the locker room. Stay with us. Lagos Talk starts at 9. Man, I'm so hungry.